Hi, Austin Delaney, CTV. Can you just talk about the journey and how important this award is for you?
It's an honor for me to receive this award. I had a feeling that I could get a chance to hold this trophy, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen, and having an anonymous vote is just incredible. So I'm super grateful for this. I'm super grateful for everyone that voted for me, because this year has been incredible. Honestly, it's truly a dream come true. I've been through ups and downs this year. I know that my results were pretty high, but I did go through some things. So being able to achieve what I've achieved with all that going on is just incredible.
Bianca, Kayla Williams here with CP24. Some call it Cinderella-like. I mean, your journey in literally 1 year is incredible. And you said it yourself at Rogers Center, this is just the beginning. And so what is in store for you now? Like, what do you have your eyes set in 2020?
I don't know how 2020 can get better than 2019. 2019, like you said, was a Cinderella story. Still is. It's still happening right now. But if I could choose something, would have to be to accomplish my ultimate goal, which is to become #1 in the world and hopefully win another Grand Slam and stay healthy as much as possible.
Hey, Bianca. A two-part question. First part, everything that's happened since the U.S. Open, I mean, was it what you expected, or has it been more? Has there been a lot of responsibility? And how are you staying grounded through all of this? How are you keeping a level head?
A lot has changed, definitely. I'm getting a lot more media attention doing things like this. But I was also able to use this media into something good and beneficial, not only for me, but for the community, like Right to Play. I was earlier doing activities with some of the kids from this school, and I think it's an amazing platform to use to bring awareness to organizations like this, because I think awareness comes first, and if there's awareness, then a lot of good things can happen. So I'm glad I was able to do that. I have to be careful with the people I let into my life. I have to make sure that they're coming into my life for my own good, not only for theirs, which has definitely been a challenge. But I'm not complaining. I love doing what I'm doing. I have no regrets whatsoever, so I'm super happy about everything that's going on right now. And what was the other one?
Just about being grounded. I mean, you got.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For me, I don't think I have Coco in my corner. That definitely helps. But also having amazing parents like mine, they definitely help me stay grounded. I always talk about having good people in your corner. I think that's very important. And yeah, they don't treat me like I'm Bianca Andreescu, the famous tennis player. They treat me like I'm just Bianca, which helps a lot, because I can definitely see how fame changes people. Wait a sec. Can you go on my live video, please? Oh, shoot. Can you grab my phone from my dad? I want to go live on Instagram. I've never done that before. I think it's a good time. Okay. Wait. Yeah, go. Resume.
Bianca, you just mentioned how you've seen people change, maybe because of fame or whatever, or success. Can you just elaborate a little bit about how you haven't changed, you don't think?
I've always dreamt of becoming #1 in the world. I've always dreamt of winning many Grand Slams, but I've never realized all the things that come along with it, like the fame, the attention, and all of that. And honestly, I'm not a fan. Ever since I was little, ever since I could remember, I've always been a low-key kind of person, so this isn't really my area. So I think that also helps for me not to get caught up in it. yeah, I like to be as private as I can. But yeah, I can definitely see how it changes people. And by change, I mean you can easily shift your priorities into maybe doing more media things than your actual career. But I don't think that's going to be a problem with me. Go ahead. Hey.
Hey, Bianca. It's Peter from the OTA and On Tennis. So you guys had an amazing year collectively, the Canadian tennis players, especially the three amigos, the three young ones. Do you guys talk to each other after big triumphs like your tournament wins and also the tremendous run that the guys had at the Davis Cup team, or Davis Cup finals?
Yeah, of course. We're messaging back and forth, especially after big accomplishments. We always mention how amazing it is to see all of us doing so well at the same time and at such a young age, because I remember playing many junior events with Felix and Dennis. So it's really nice to see that we're all motivating each other to do well now, because it doesn't matter how old you are, I think you can accomplish anything you set your mind to.
Bianca, I'm Shalem. I'm with Global News. You were out there early on talking to a lot of the younger athletes. In the last year, I'm sure you've learned a great deal about life, about tennis, about things in your world. What do you want to impart most to the youth that you are going to be working with?
Well, that's why I became an ambassador for Right to Play. I think it's an amazing organization, and I've always wanted to inspire the youth as best as I can, and I think now with my career skyrocketing, I have a huge social media platform, which I think definitely helps in that, because social media can be good and bad, but it can be good in that sense. So I just want to spread the word and hopefully be an inspiration to them. Maybe I'll be seeing them on the WTA tour or ATP tour in like 5, 6, 7 years, because I really think that if I continue to do well, if Felix, Dennis, if any Canadian athlete continues to do well, I think that can be great motivation for the youth.
Bianca, they say that in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And so what has going up against the likes of Serena and some of your very own idols has taught you mentally as a professional athlete in order to really kind of switch that knob from, I can really do this, and now that you see yourself seated at 4, obviously the goal is number 1, but what has going up against some of the greats really taught you this year?
It definitely wasn't easy. I mean, I didn't have much pressure on my shoulders when I went against them. I went up against them, but I remember before the Rogers Cup, there were so many things going through my mind because it was my hometown. I played on that tennis court ever since I was 10 years old, and I was facing Serena Williams, a person I looked up to my whole life. And I remember talking to my coach about the game plan, and I just started bawling because so many emotions were going through my head. But I think that definitely helped release some stress. And then going into the U.S. Open, I kind of had a feeling of how I would feel before the match, so I was better able to control my emotions. I think that's number 1 for me, is to be able to control my emotions, because I'm a pretty emotional person. I like to wear my emotions on my sleeve, but I just want to be myself out there. So I try my best to control it as much as possible, especially when I'm on the court. It's also taught me patience, because when I'm on the court, I want everything right away. So if I miss a shot or if I lose a game, I get pretty down on myself. So I just have to bounce back and realize that not everything is going to go my way. So I just try to stay in the present moment as much as possible.
Bianca, can you talk a little bit about what it's like to be a teenager on the tour and how the other players have responded to you? Because I remember Jeannie Bouchard saying at the beginning, when she was doing really well, that she did not want to make friends on the tour, that she didn't think that was good for her, that she was just too competitive. I was just wondering what the experience is like for you.
The experience for me has been great, really. I haven't really had much problems. I mean, I'm a pretty friendly person. I like to talk to other athletes because it's a way that I can relate with someone. But I can see where Jeannie's coming from because we all have one goal. We all want to do really well. So I can see how some of them will look at me as the up-and-comer. I'm kind of like the new kid on the block, so I don't really have many friends. My good friend is Taylor Townsend. And, I mean, everyone's pretty friendly, but we kind of have our own path, I guess.
Bianca on the left, Raphael Guillemette of Radio Canada. Just wanted to know, you mentioned your coach, Bruno, and I know that for a while you used to celebrate your little victories in an Indian Wells with In-N-Out Burgers. Does the world-famous Bianca still get to celebrate as just Bianca, the little things? Did you have to just put that aside and just, because you're still 19.
No, not at all, not at all. No, I celebrate how I've always celebrated, even after US Open. I had an amazing dinner with my whole team. It was very low-key, just like I did when I won 25K event last year around the same time. So I think that's what keeps me grounded as well, just keeping my roots, remembering where I came from and how it all started. So I try to keep those, and hopefully I can the rest of my career.
Hi, Bianca over here. Nikki Reyes from Sportsnet. You talked about being the new kid on the block, but now you kind of have a target on your back and people know what to expect from you. How does that change going into this season, and is the pressure something that motivates you?
It may change a little bit, but I don't think my tennis or my mindset will change much. This preseason, I'm definitely going to put more hours on the court and try to become stronger than I was at the beginning of the year, because I didn't think I was going to be playing this year fully on the tour. But now I know that the competition is way stronger than any competition I've ever played, like the ITF Juniors, ITF Pro Circuit. So I'm definitely going to emphasize my preseason a bit more. And I guess there can be a bit more pressure on my shoulders since I'm top 5. I'm a favorite maybe to win a Grand Slam now, but I think that motivates me. I think pressure really raises my game to the next level. I think that's why I've done so well in bigger matches like against Serena too. I just try to use it as a challenge rather than a setback.
Peter from the OTA again. Bianca, can you talk a little bit about what sort of influence you're having on the next young Canadians coming up? I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Kayla Cross just won the Eddie Herr singles and doubles last weekend, and I know she's one that looks up to you. And I've noticed a palpable difference at the academy level and you know, amongst the young under 14s and so on. So just talk about your influence on the next kids coming up in Canada.
Well, congrats, Kayla. That's amazing. I've had a chance to speak to many of the athletes in the program in Toronto and in Montreal when I was there. I think it's nice for them to get that experience to ask me any questions because, like I said, awareness is very important. So if I can tell them a little bit about my experience, I think that can help them with theirs as well. But sometimes I don't really realize the impact I have on people. I've been receiving so many messages on social media, even in person. I received a note on the plane at one point. I remember speaking about that. And it just really opens my eyes, and it really fulfills me because it's been a goal of mine to do that. So it's really nice to see, and hopefully I can continue to do that as much as I can.
Kayla again with CP24. So Bianca, this is a bit of a two-part question. I'm curious to know what your plans are for the holiday season, since you are here at home and you say you're a bit of a low-key girl. And also wanted to follow up
So
with,
why would I tell you?
well, maybe just kind of your plans with your family. Have you done your Christmas shopping yet? And following up with Andreescu Way. Have you seen it, or do you know any updates on that street named after you?
Well, I'm actually going to be doing my preseason in California. I want to get used to the weather I'm going to have in Australia, so I think that'll be the best decision for me. But hopefully I can come back a couple days, maybe during Christmas or during New Year's, we'll see. But we put up the Christmas tree the other day, which is nice. We try to keep some of the same things that we've always done in the holiday season. I'll probably celebrate before I go with some of my friends and my parents, definitely. Because who knows if I'll be here for Christmas or not. But Andreescu Way, I don't know any updates on that. I know it's a new street that they've built, so they're going to put my sign up there, but definitely when it's up, I'll take a look at it.
We have time for a couple more questions, please.
Bianca, you just touched on your preseason and training in California. Can you just give us an update how you're physically feeling now, and are you rehabbing at all still? Are you 100%?
Yeah, I'm rehabbing right now. I have a really good team around me, so we're doing the best we can to recover the best I can in a short period of time, but hopefully I'll be ready for Australia.
Sorry, and just follow up. What has that process been like for you, this rehabbing and recovering, and as you roll your eyes?
I know, it's not easy, because all I want to do is be on the tennis court, but have to deal with it the best way I can. I kind of know what to expect now, but my team and I are trying really, really hard to find the things that are contributing to all my injuries so that I can have a longer career and play as many tournaments as I can so I can reach that #1 spot.
Last question here, please.
Hey, Bianca, just wondering how serious the knee injury was that you suffered in China, and are you back on court now practicing regularly, or can you just bring us up to date on the status of that?
Well, I don't need surgery, so I wouldn't say it's very bad. So, yeah, I can't really say much about it. I'm just trying to rehab as much as possible and stay as positive as I can.